Welcome, guys, to the SBN Network podcast. I'm your host, Steph, and with me is...
I'm Scott.
Yes.
And I'm Scott. We know how to do intros now.
This is a podcast where we take some deep dives into some wonderful artists and kind of look at their account in a different way, which is always a little bit positive, a little awesome, and you guys can enjoy their accounts with us.
And now that we've gotten more professional, I try not to say any dumb stuff.
Mm-hmm. And I try to at least always end on a good note. I can edit it out.
Oh my God, she hit
part.
it.
I hit the button.
We've begun.
Okay.
I'm sipping. I'm sipping.
This is literally going to be it the entire time. It's just... Yeah.
Sipping.
So welcome,
Hi,
Amy.
Amy.
Yep,
Thank you.
You're
Hello.
our first returning guest to this new video amazing platform. So
Awesome.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, me too.
I was waiting for Scott to say how excited he is.
I'm super excited.
Yes.
I'm amped as can be. I'm really, no, seriously, I'm really pumped because since we are talking now, officially, Amy, Steph, me, the three of us have been in communication for a while. Like we talk a lot. Like it's we're interacting constantly, and we had little meetups and things like that were not recorded, just fun, like conversation and whatnot. And I do look forward to a day when COVID is no longer an issue and we can all go meet somewhere and have an awesome time, because I think it would be really fun. And I think it would be fun to go shooting with the two of you. I would, I can't even begin to express how much fun that would be. It would be
I'm ready.
super memorable. So
Say the word and I'm ready.
so yeah, a little just beginning context there is that the three of us know each other pretty damn well. So there you have it.
We can always drag MJ along too.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fun. I have to fly over to you guys though, so your guys are all close.
Or we meet in the middle. Kind of want to go somewhere Midwest.
Where's in the middle?
I'm in the
Vegas?
middle. You can come explore Indiana.
Ooh.
Terribly exciting.
You know, I'm in the middle of rural nowhere, so Indiana sounds great. So it works out. If anybody wants to go listen to the other podcast that we have for you for your episode, they can get a little more update on like kind of like your account and everything. This one, we are going to like dive into your style more than just your name and everything else that's going on. But if Scott went away.
Okay, so just so you know, hopefully that won't happen again. We have some really crazy wind right now. Really crazy, and I heard a huge like wind gust, and then my sound disappeared. Like my screen flickered, and then my sound went off, and then everything just went and popped back on. So I don't know what's going on. I hope that this conversation is recorded, and now people listening to this podcast are hearing about my weird power surge. But yeah, I don't know what that was. That was a little weird.
It's been really windy here too, like crazy.
Yeah, it's been crazy windy today. Like it's wild. But yeah, so I'm back until the wind blows.
We can dive back into like the professional stuff. I was just explaining to Amy, which I'm going to explain to you anyway, because this can be in the podcast because it's funny. I bought the 35 millimeter lens. Yes. Doesn't fit my camera.
Just wait.
Of course not.
Yeah. Just wait. This is like, so I bought an adapter. Mm-hmm. Does not fit my camera or the lens.
Sweet.
So I'm a genius.
Sweet. We're going to get you through this.
I know. I need to figure this out.
You need another adapter for your adapter.
I do. The adapter lease is from Amazon, so I can send it back and then I get a new one. But I swear, I even Googled like what fits in here and like what's going to work. And then I tried it and it doesn't fit. It doesn't even fit one of them. I was like hoping at least it would fit one side.
Something would function. Yeah.
No. So we'll have to figure it out. But I'm in having Devin looking for a new camera for me too, which I'm pretty excited about. So we'll see how this goes.
That's exciting.
That's exciting.
Yeah, because my camera's super old, but it's okay. You have the feeling too. I know, Amy.
I kind of like it though. I don't mind it too much. I'm used to it. It's like
Well,
it's
there's
safe.
something to be said about that. When you get comfortable with a particular piece of equipment, honestly, I think that's 90% of the reason why photographers don't jump brands typically is because you get comfortable with a certain rhythm, a feel, down to little things like where the buttons are and what.
Yeah.
And then to change all of that, I think can be really uncomfortable. Truthfully, there have been times where all of a sudden, Canon comes out with a better camera or Sony comes out with a better camera, but I've kind of just stuck to my cameras because it's like, I've been shooting Nikon for a long time. I'm comfortable with it, and I've been shooting Fuji and I'm comfortable with that. So the idea of using a different camera body and different lenses is like I don't know. Am I going to get that much better?
Yeah.
End results? I don't know.
If I would change, I just wish my camera had one of those flip screens.
Oh, you don't have the viewer.
No, it's just flush on the back.
Oh, okay.
Let me tell you, I used to make fun of those a lot because I was bratty and snobby, and
Really?
I was like, yeah, oh yeah. I was like, why'd you get a flip back? That's not how you photograph. You photograph through the viewfinder like a real photographer. Blah blah blah. And like, I really want one now. I don't have a camera with one, and I'm so tired of myself being down on the ground.
I know.
I can't do
In the weirdest yoga positions, trying to get down where you need to be.
Yeah.
I agree.
People get some really great views, I'm sure, of me, but yeah.
This is one of the things I've talked to a couple of people about. If there was ever somebody who wanted to do like an art book of toy photographers, like in different poses behind the scenes and when they're getting shots, like how they like hang from trees, and like I feel like you have like small rivers and you're trying to go in between so you could like get the right water angle, like all kinds of craziness.
That's a brilliant idea.
It would be very interesting to study. So I was thinking, oh my gosh. All right, I'm going to bring up the slideshow. Yeah.
I love it.
Which one?
Both. I love this spectrum. Oh my gosh. That is so uncomfortable on that side. And I love it. It's like oh my God. I love it so much. So much.
Yeah,
it's really funny because I remember this photo because I remember when I found your account, and I think you had like 10 posts by this point.
Yeah, you were like one of my very first people that I followed and that actually followed me back.
And I remember this was your profile picture for a long time.
Yes, it was.
So
long time.
Yeah. So I was just like,
what is that baby?
That's a Kittle. She was made in the late 60s. And the story is, this is honeysuckle Kittle. And I found her at a Walmart parking lot. I stepped on her and it felt squishy. And I looked down and there she was. And just like this. And what's really weird is that I had her when I was little. And I had that, not this exact same doll, but I had a honeysuckle Kittle when I was a little girl. And it was just really weird to find her again as an adult in this condition.
I just, this to me is, I don't know, it explains so much. This is like this is the beginning of your journey and who you are as a photographer. And like, I know I'm going to start making you uncomfortable already, but the icon
that's all right. I got mine.
Yeah.
Like, you have become like a full, like, toy photography greatest of all time people.
Oh my.
You're an example people use now.
Yeah, you're an example.
Oh my.
Well, and I said this to Steph. That was the reason I used Cattycomb style for it because it's almost like we were joking about Lobster 20,000, how people just like call him Lobster. Like, Amy, you are a full on, you are part of the foundation of this community, and it's just really cool. Like, this photo is so, it's the essence of all these bizarre toys that you have found over the years that you photograph and make look so amazing. And the fact that this is the first one, this squished up doll that you found in a parking lot with exploding hair.
Yeah.
And it's just, this answers everything. And, your feed has just become this amazing pile of toys that no one has ever heard of and nobody has seen, and like people should see and should know of. And that's the thing with you as even just as a collector. Like, yeah, you've got your like kind of classic collector things, but realistically, and I kind of touched on this a little in my description of what you do, but it's the toys are, there's a story behind all of them. They come from somewhere. There's a history there. And I just think that that's something very unique to you that a lot of people don't have that. They just don't. So that's that.
I'm odd and now I'm uncomfortable. So
good.
Thank you. Thank you for saying those things.
Yeah. And I know this was the most recent one, but I really, really, really like the little care with the baby Yoda. And basically, I know it's not his real name, Scott. Don't correct me on my Star Wars.
I'm not going to correct you. Okay. I'm not that mean. I can't deal with those people. I'm totally fine. Call him Baby Yoda. It's funny.
But the little wooden ship, because you basically gave it its new home and everything like that. I really feel like you're like the toys like last stop before they go anywhere else. You're like the train station that gives them out to their new homes. The Island of Misfits is like the house of Amy, and like she takes care of them and then moves them on to better places instead.
I like that idea.
So, but I was very much, when I went to go back through the feed and when I saw this image, I was like, I remember this. And it actually pulled me back to that time. And I was like, oh, this is when I met Amy. Like, I talked to her about this, and like, it's really cool that an image can bring you back to even friendship wise, like us meeting and like hanging out and like understanding it. So it was kind of like a memory lane thing for me, but it definitely showcases a lot and how you are now and how you are then. So it's really cool.
Oh, good. I'm glad you like it. Thank you.
If I can make these go forward. So I haven't done a 2-parter of this thing, but your posts usually need the extra slides because you put so much effort.
Do that. Yeah.
But you did, Scott. You actually did.
I had to.
You did them. I mean, they were brilliant.
I debated whether or not to do it. I really did, because I haven't really I've really tried not to like imitate anybody. I've really tried to just kind of take parts of what they do and sort of incorporate it into my own. But with you, it was the first time I really wanted to go for that feel. And it is your presentation is as big a part of your feed and your social media presence as the end results are. Like, these behind the scenes are like, they're wonderful. They're wonderful. And I think it makes people really happy to see that. And I think in this, heavily photoshopped, heavily edited, very over, dramatized photos, I think you are such a breath of fresh air sometimes, because I love this stuff. I love the garbage you find. It inspires me to go look at fun stuff. It's honestly, I swear that a lot of your photos are the reason that I just collect broken crap from my mechanics at work and stuff, is because
good
seeing what you did with that and realizing that, yeah, I enjoy making dioramas. I enjoy making sets and stuff, but I also sometimes don't want to do that. Sometimes I just want to take things and it's so fun. It's so fun, the process that you use. And I had a blast playing around with it.
I
Go
want to
ahead.
see what kind of started it for you. Like, what started you wanting to do it like this? I kind of want to know.
Well, I was seeing all these incredible works of art that people were doing, and I realized that some of it I couldn't afford, like the expensive diodes and stuff, props even. So it was basically needs must when the devil drives. You just grab what you have at hand and do the best with it that you can, and hope for the best. Keep your fingers crossed. And it's not usually a pretty process when I do this. It's like Jenga. You just keep piling stuff in there until it looks right, and you hope that it doesn't all fall over before you can get your shot. It's pretty much a hot mess. But yeah, what started it was just I needed a background and I didn't have one, so I looked for one.
Did you see somebody else do it, or did you just?
I actually did. I can't remember who it was. It was a really, really long time ago. And I wish I could remember, but I can't remember who it was.
And maybe I don't follow them, but I truly don't feel like I see a ton of people do it this way. Like I've seen.
I don't know that a lot of people do.
Yeah.
I think the one I saw was a die-cast photographer,
and
they used it for their car.
Okay.
I always wonder when you're looking for new accounts to follow, how you go about that too. I always picture you like in a lounge chair with a glass of wine. And you're just like, oh, let me choose 3 words to type in for search and see what comes up and see what kind, because you find some of the coolest accounts. So
the weird thing is I don't search them out. I don't sit down and search for things. I don't literally even know how to do that, honestly, on Instagram. But if it's somebody that I feel like can inspire me as a photographer or as a person, I will follow them, regardless of the type of level or whatever, what kind of photography they're doing or anything like that. If what they do inspires me, and if who they are inspires me, I'll follow.
Absolutely.
But I know I'm missing a shit ton of people that I want to follow and just haven't found yet.
I think this whole podcast experience has basically shown me a bunch of more accounts. Like Scott and I have found a bunch of people through like people interviewing them that we now are going to connect with on an everyday basis. So it's really fun being able to do more things outside the box, like podcasts or DMing people or kind of hanging out. I realized when we were talking with MJ, I just kind of threw him into our chat one day because he liked MHA, and I talked to him about that a couple of times. So it's really funny the people that you might get along with that we might not like the same toys or might not like the same things. We all live in different states. We all have different lifestyles. So it's like, it's really cool. And I like to say this about you, Amy, too, is like, you're very, like you have a commonality with almost like anything. Like your relatability with your account is high. Like I can't even like express in words, like your visuals and everything. Like it seems like it's like a regular thing on my mind. When I see your posts, I'm like, oh, Amy posted today. I'm going to take some time to like look at it. Like it's really nice and refreshing to have accounts and friends on Instagram that you can look at and be like, oh, their art makes you feel happy that morning. So
gee whiz.
And your art that makes you think, you jump all over the place. That's a big thing with you is, again, I think it's because you're not driven by a collection or a theme. Like you're not like a Marvel Legends collector. You're not you're not like me. You're not like a Star Wars nerd. Like you just sort of get things because you like them and you find them interesting and you think that they're worth photographing.
Yep.
And I think that's what makes you so appealing to such a vast audience, is because you're not sucking in like just the Star Wars fans, just the Marvel fans or the anime fans. You're attracting people who just like it all and find something that they connect with in your work. And I think that's just really neat. I think it's a great job and a great role to have in the toy photography community. So you are,
Well, thanks. That's a nice way of saying I am just all over the place.
yeah, right.
I think. Hold on. Let me see if I can. I love this one. This is like.
I forgot about that one. That was a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's
You can you can start seeing like your like focus points kind of, and the way that you add softness to it, even like how you love your cat, you love this figure, and it's just like it's like an embodiment of emotion almost, with it like swirls down in on where it's focusing to. And I went through them, and trying to pick my favorites out of your account, by the way, was ridiculous. Like I haven't had a lot of trouble before, because like people have some like really big moments, and I'm like, oh great, I can add this and do this stuff. Like you're again so different from different areas. I'm like, I wanted to encompass everything that is Amy, but you're very like wide variety of things to pick from. So
I'm pretty eclectic in just regular real life. I'm interested in all kinds of different things. So maybe that's why I'm kind of all over the place with the toys too.
This photograph though, this is you're one of those like threshold toy photographers that like lives somewhere between like the fine art world and collecting toys. And like when you look at this photo, like it's just everything is right. Like there's nothing wrong with it. And I think that's just so fascinating about the way you think. It's like, yeah, you're a toy photographer, but it's sometimes you almost lose whether or not this is an animal there. It's almost more of just like a framing of the toy. And you made sure all of Hello Kitty on the right side of Hello Kitty's face falls right into the nose and like I guess forehead.
Yeah, we'll say it's a forehead. Yeah,
it's
a forehead.
That line just falls in there. Like that's not you. You can't. Nobody can do that by accident. That's this thing that is in your brain. It's in your DNA. It's in the way you function as an artist. And like yeah, everything about this photo is just like phenomenal. And again, I know that that's what I do, and I get like overly analytical with this stuff, but it is just really, really fascinating that it just falls perfectly into place. You've got this like really lovely kind of like U shape in the bottom right corner that kind of parallels like Hello Kitty's head a little bit. Like so the cat's I guess like so there's some fur going in between Hello Kitty and that curved line underneath. The dark areas, the vignetting on the edges. It's that's just a great shot. It's a really, really cool shot.
You give me a lot of credit, Scott. Thank you.
It's all in your brain though. Like I said, it's not an accident. Like you have an artist's brain that does artist things. Whether or not artists realize it sometimes is the question. But it's yeah, everything about this is just
interesting.
Again, phenomenal.
Interesting. You went way back, Steph. She was.
This is cool.
And all of these, except for Grogu, all of these were on my phone before I had my camera.
Okay. This is a phone shot.
Yep.
Wow.
It makes it extra special too. Because I didn't know that. I was thinking this is awesome. Because
all of these so far have been on my camera or on my phone. Yeah. That's a Christmas ornament, actually.
Very cool.
Where were you? Where'd you go?
That is it's a very small lake or a very big pond that is like around the corner from our house. It's like the Lions Club property, so everybody can go and hang out there if they want to. Not a lot of people do, but
again, let's get into this one. I love that the horizon line is not exactly straight, that it's angled up in the direction that the horse is going.
Mm-hmm.
and it's creating like this real sense of the cowboy and the horse's motion. Um,
That's
I
not just a cowboy, Scott.
who is I can't see
That is the Lone Ranger.
Oh, it is the Lone Ranger. I can see his massive
Good, you get him.
Yeah,
If I didn't, my husband would kill me. He loves
come
the
get
Lone
me.
Ranger. so-
Absolutely. Well, we've got the Lone Ranger, and he's at this pond lake thing. But yeah, it's cool. The direction that it's going in, and the direction that the horse is like leaping in, is very. I feel like it would have been funny if it was the opposite way. If it was tilting the other direction, it wouldn't have had the same impact. And I like that there's the dark space underneath the white horse. Like if you look, there's like that kind of shadowy area.
Yeah.
that is his shadow, actually.
It's like, it's so important. Like, I feel like seeing that, it gives him like lift. Seeing the actual like shadow is like, oh, he is like, he's soaring, and those reflections in the back, super, super like just symmetrical. Love that. Love the sky being blown out. It's not necessary. Let it disappear. I love that. So good.
I was kind of going for the. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, but yet the white horse still stands out against it. Like, even though it's a white horse against a white background in black and white with some white water underneath, it's, you still see the horse. It's there. It's clear. So
The old Lone Ranger TV series
Mm-hmm.
was shot obviously in black and white, and it was blown out like that because that's just how it was back in the day. You know, you shoot in the desert back in the day, and it's gonna blow out. So I was trying to kind of get the feeling of the old TV series.
yeah, and that black and white film back then with video, like film, just it didn't have the dynamic range that like digital does today.
Yeah,
So we were super limited. But it's fantastic. You nailed it. So good. I love it.
I'm gonna do my Steph talk about this too, because like
Please
the
do.
ground grains, like to me, that's like my thing. So this bottom right corner is what catches my eye. Like even before the figure, like where the direction is going, the like you could have easily just blurred that part too, but you took some time, like the actual seeing the dirt and what's going on the rocks and everything, and the shadow is very important to me. And I don't know how you probably holding it on the string, I'm assuming.
he's on a wire stuck in the ground.
Ah, okay.
Uh-huh.
Very good. But it's awesome. It's awesome.
Really good. Oh, adorable.
I like
I should have
go
put
from
the behind
that
the
to
scenes on this one.
this one actually was the first time that I used. That's a printout of a rocket,
Mhm.
and that's the first time that I integrated the figure in with the printout, because I cut out the porthole
Mhm.
and put the figure behind the printout.
That is remarkable.
It turned out way better than I was even hoping. That it actually turned out pretty good.
That's not even good. That's like mastery. Like, that is
You're gassed.
no, I am that is to have even lighting against. So you got to figure, let's get lighty here. You've got an image, you've got a photograph of this rocket thing, or a whatever. You've got this rocket image printed, and then you're able to match the light to a degree where you even create that little shadow underneath the window.
Uh-huh.
Like, that's not normal. Normal people don't do that. I'm just saying.
Well,
That is that's just so cool. And it was something that was so I played with it a little bit when I was doing like, your style, and it was the first time I had really played with the idea of using some bounce light and trying to put some stuff in the foreground and create images with something paper in the back. And it's not easy. Like, I would challenge anybody listening to, go give it a shot, because it is a fun test of
It is
what you're
fun.
capable of doing.
Yeah.
You have to think a lot. It's not as simple as just, I'm going to stick this toy in front of a piece of paper and hope it works. What you did here, it works. And I mean, I only posted my 3 successes, but
They were beautiful, by the way.
there were some not successes, let's just say.
Oh, I have those too.
So this is just it's too cool. I really find this fascinating that you're able to make that work like that.
This is one of those ones that, Amy, if you ever make prints, I want. I want it for my daughter's room, because she's wanting to get more toy photography art in her room.
Oh, cool.
When I saw this, I was just like, it reminds me of just like my kids. It's very childhoody kind of thing to it, but it's so good, because you see a lot of like digital stuff nowadays. Your practical like printouts with normal stuff is just like it's not normal. I'm going to use Scott's quote. It's not normal.
Normal people should not be able to just do this. Like, this is not. This is not like a. I'm gonna take some pictures with my phone and make toys look cute. This is like a. This is a.
I sound exactly like that, by the way.
I know.
You do not. All the time. This is a. I am a borderline genius, and I made this beautiful image. That's what this is, and it's. I know I talk about you all the time, Amy. I talk about you to everybody. I like.
Oh my goodness.
Whenever I'm trying to get somebody into toy photography who isn't into toys, I give them your account immediately. Like, you are the account that I always give to people who don't really get it, like what I'm doing, because and I mean it. Like, what I do is not necessarily interesting to a lot of people, but you.
Well, they're crazy then.
Well, yeah. Whatever. But you managed
to argue.
Create that connection to people who are looking for interesting photographs. Like, you just create interesting photographs that happen to have toys in them, and it's just so rad. And this is a perfect example of that. So.
Thanks.
How uncomfortable are you now?
I'm ready for another glass of wine. I'm that uncomfortable.
We're gonna keep going because we have this one next.
That one turned out pretty good, better than I was hoping to.
Do you have the behind the scenes of this by any chance?
No, I should have grabbed it.
So I don't ask me why I remember this, because I haven't looked at this photo in a while, but correct me if I'm wrong, Amy. You actually curved the paper.
Yes. There's a book under it. It's curving down. So it's like tacked to the wall and comes down and then goes over the book and then goes down another little hill. You okay?
I just want to let everybody who's watching let that sink in for a second. Like, I want you to look at this photo. I want you to think about it for a second. And then I want you to realize that that's a curved piece of paper and the road is coming out towards us. And it looks like that. Like, I have nothing to say about this. At the end of this, I'm going to take my camera out and go Office Space on it just for fun.
No,
no. I'm just kidding.
It's just fine.
I already dropped my camera. It looks like it went through an Office Space.
I went to go try that lens and like stuff on my camera, and like a bunch of sand came out. I'm like, that's probably not good. So I had to clean it. So I was like, I don't even remember last time I was at the beach. So let's see what this is going on. Yeah. No. I just don't take my 50 off apparently very often. So I needed to start doing that.
That's the life of a used camera, though. It should be like that.
It's definitely been there. So we can talk about this one. Like, I just want to showcase this one because this is one, again, like picking favorites off your account is like really ridiculous. But I remember seeing this one and I was like, that's really cool. And like all this stuff. And you were like, yeah, it's a piece of paper. And I'm like, it's a what? And then I remember you saw show the behind the scenes. I was like, oh my God, Amy.
But again, that balanced lighting, like you look at the light through. Okay, so I remember the curved paper. Where was the light on this one? Where was the
It was actually coming from the left.
It was
The window was on the left, but I had a bounce on the right.
okay. You did have a bounce on the right because that's
Mhm.
so fascinating. Because obviously, like the image has, the sun setting over in. Well,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the way that my screen points.
It's on the
Over in
right.
that direction.
Yeah.
So
This
you
way.
got it over there, and but you managed to light up the windows as if that sun could potentially be coming through there.
And
And
some of the window light actually was, I mean, that's you're looking through the windows to the sunset anyway. So that helped.
it's wild. This is a wild photo.
Mm-hmm.
I like the car.
The
That's
car is
a
very
cool
cool too.
What is that car? Where did that come from? Do you remember?
It's just a loose toy bin. I
Yeah.
liked the way it looked because I like station wagons and old station wagons for some reason. So
I always find Hot Wheels are better beat up. So
Yeah.
like, yeah,
I
they
like
need
the
a
old
little bit of grip. Yeah.
one. That was when I was really feeling creative. That was a good October.
This is amazing.
It's all been downhill since then.
Yeah. You need to tell Scott what that is.
Please. Teach
Like
me.
what the picture is or what the figure
the
What
figure.
the hell is going on here? Please.
Okay, well, this was what year? It would have been 19.
Yeah.
October of 19 I did a picture every day for Mab's Drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can't, this was the Screaming Woman prompt. The prompt was a Screaming Woman. And this is the screaming head. I don't know what it is, but he's a head on a stick. And I think he was made by Marx, like back in the 60s or 70s, but I don't know what from. And so I stuck him in a chunk of styrofoam and just wrapped a bunch of material and netting around him and took him out into the woods and
Made a masterpiece.
well, I don't know about that, but I tried to expose it so that he was kind of, or she was kind of glowing,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
to be
she's
ghostly,
glowing.
kind of.
It is your darks are so dark in this,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got these little creepy pops of light coming through the trees, like just these perfect little speckles, like just enough light to make the scene a little uncomfortable and make you feel like you're a little trapped. And then you've got this being, this essence in the middle that is just dark, bright white. And I just the energy coming off of this photo is insane.
Uh-huh.
It is this is what this was taken with a camera, right?
Yes.
I not to get all like I never really want to talk about tech with you. Of all the people in my life, photography wise, you were the last person I want to talk like gear with and whatnot. But
Interesting.
I'm just because like it doesn't matter. Like that's the thing. Like for you, like gear does not matter. Like when it comes to you, I just want to know how your brain works. I couldn't give two craps what you're using. But how big do you think this would hold up? I'm just curious if you were to print it. Like do you think it would hold to like a big ass print?
Like how big ass? I know.
Like
I think it
24
would.
by 36.
Ooh.
I don't know.
I'm just
We
saying.
could try it. We
I'm
could
just
try it
saying.
and see.
Like I was like thinking about this. So there's some
It might.
like really heavy duty like cotton rag paper and stuff. Like for little like high end inkjet printing and
Mm-hmm.
like people who print with like the nice like Epson like 11 ink printers and stuff. And I just would be so fascinated to see how this looks on like a good, like textured, I don't want to say luster, but like maybe just flat of like a luster finish paper in like a big print. I feel like this would like be baffling. I feel like it would
Let's try it and see what happens.
I feel like it would just be baffling.
Yeah. And it's funny though, because Darth Shank used to print some prints for me, and he used to do it on like metallic paper. And I feel like that almost would be good too. The I'm gonna the piece of fabric on the right side of his face, the one's like kind of see through.
Mm-hmm.
That's Steph's highlight for this whole thing. I remember seeing this and being like, "What? Where did you get this from? What figure is this?" And I remember you telling me what it was, and I was just like, "Oh."
It is literally held together by straight pins stuck into the styrofoam.
You're a genius when it comes. Like, I can't get fabrics to do that. I try. I can get sticks to do that if I really try. But like fabric,
You're a stick magician.
yeah, like actual waving of things like with soft goods it's a whole nother level of like trying to move things around. But Scott's right. This would look amazing, like on someone's wall above something like that. Like it's art. It's
I'm just
amazing.
picturing this with like a big print with like let's just say like trying to visualize like a 5-inch gap between the frame and the print, whether that's a matte or whether it's just a flush mounted type situation, whatever the case. And like kind of a thin, dark wood frame around the whole thing, like something that's just kind of like rusticy looking, like scratched up and like ruined. Even if it's like old barnwood or something, like I think this could look so cool. Like I just have this crazy idea of what this could look like. But,
that's interesting. Let's do an experiment.
yeah, I feel like this needs to be experimented.
Let's try it.
I might need to we might need to talk after this and get. There's a lab down here, not too far from here that prints really, really well. And I don't know. I feel like this just is begging to be printed.
I would be really interested to see how it turned out.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's different when you have them in hand. I will tell you that the printing out your work is one of the few things when you can actually see it, because an Instagram screen is never going to give you the same feeling as when you had it in camera in front of you, or even blowing up. I pull stuff up on Photoshop all the time. Like, that is not what I saw out there, but I'm going to roll with it because it'll get condensed back down to the smaller image. When you actually can get something that you can make, like Scott said, into something larger and something like more unique, I almost think want to say with the print, it'll look like I love this image anyway, so I want to see it regardless. So
yeah, let's try it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'd be down. I'll donate to that cause.
I'll just donate it all to that cause.
Like, I'm just gonna have it in my house. Is what he's saying right now.
I will put my credit card information out right now.
Not on the internet. We're not going to do that.
Everybody just use it and print this photo.
Yeah,
this is so cool.
I had to put a droid. I don't even know like the wording for it because it's like they're so cool. Like, to me, like, we were talking the other day, Amy, and like, you are right. You're the mech queen for like this kind of stuff.
I like Who, robots and droids. I have to admit.
This is a Doctor
They're
Who
the
robot,
ones that stay with me. I'm sorry, Scott, what?
Oh, no, I was just saying, this is a Doctor Who robot, right?
Yes. Well, yes, this is a Cyberman.
Cyberman. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. I was like, I know I've seen him. This is so good. God.
I was always just like it's almost like it's like on Zoom and you're like going into the scene, like the way that you take photos. I'm not sure what the wording is for that, but I'll make my hands go like this and you'll understand.
I was going to say, no, Steph, I was going to say the exact same thing. It's like we're peering through a hallway. It's coming like through a hallway to us, and you can see the outsides of it. And whether it's 3-dimensional or not, you created a 3-dimensional feel of these like walls coming towards us. And it's that's just so cool. That is so neat.
That one is it was a printout of a phone booth from the inside, and I kind of curved it a little bit, and then in front where you see the bars and stuff, I printed out a window frame and cut out the panes, and was like holding it with one hand and snapping with the other.
Scott's gonna have like a meltdown here in a second.
It's amazing.
I don't know if we should have been drinking during this entire discovery.
I am so happy. I feel like this is all we could do during this. We had to drink during Amy's. Like, there was no way. We were not going to do this without alcohol. Like,
It makes them a lot better, honestly.
Oh my gosh.
A little relaxed. But I'm also going to comment on just the way that you place the figure in the frame. I like to angle mine sideways because I like to have some kind of cornered veering, but yours are always like it's never in the center, which I like. It's always like kind of a little bit to one side. And I don't really know what that's called, but I like it. I like the way that it like flows. So it's almost, again, drawing you towards one place instead of it being just like spot on.
Yeah, and you don't center, but you also don't use like rule of thirds necessarily.
No,
not all the time.
No,
I do sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes, but I mean, you tend to fall somewhere in between, which I think is interesting. I would almost be curious to kind of like Fibonacci your photos and see how often they fall into like a Fibonacci sequence, because I bet you a lot of them do, because of the fact that what Steph just said, that where parts of your characters fall in the frame and where some of the odds and ends fall into the frame, it is really eye catching, but it's not centered. It's not thirds. It's floats kind of in and out. And I almost want to get like some people do that where you can get like that vector file of like a snail shell, stick it on top of your photos and just see how many of them like actually fall into kind of like a interesting pattern like that, because it's
that would be interesting to see.
It would be.
It is a really cool. You lay out your photos really well. I love it. I love it.
Especially if you're going through all those intricacies of like printing something out, cutting out window frames to try to like get this all situated. Yeah. See, definitely. There's a lot of purpose there. We have another one. Oh, we're going to go to black and white now. We're moving on to this.
Okay.
So I had the same reaction when you sent this to me as when Scott sent me his. You guys are it's way too good. So this was like perfect for this challenge. If I have to describe Amy in a photo, it would be this.
This photo is fire. What is that? What is that toy? Like, what did you do? What is this creation?
That is not my creation. That is done by Droid Foundry.
Okay.
Vince Matt, 1990.
Yeah.
He's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
He designed this, and I got it from him, and it's brilliant. It's like a concept BB-8.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got to get some droids from him. I had reached out to him.
Everybody does. Everybody needs to get something from him. He's amazing.
I got to talk to him because I was saying I forget who I was talking about this with. I want to get some that I know a lot of times he'll tend to put like numbers and like things that are, let's just say like earthly symbols and whatnot. I want to talk to him about getting some, like I want to get a little army of droids for Babu Frick. Not necessarily, their symbols tend to, I want them to be something, they don't need to be Star Warsy, but just kind of like more basic, like something you can't really pinpoint where it's from kind of thing.
Yeah.
But he's phenomenal. God, he's
phenomenal. Oh, he is. I mean, not just his designs, but his paint is just incredible. If I had $1 million, it would all go to him.
Oh God. This is lit so beautifully. This is like
that is only
Hollywood
window light. It's just window light.
This is like, I feel like I'm watching like an old like Hollywood film or an old portrait of like this droid is from the 1950s and is going to be in some black and white film like that. That's what this feels like. It's so cool.
Good. I'm glad. That's kind of what I was going for.
I was going to say the good word for it would be classic. Just like very, very classic. But you say it's only window light. I'm gonna stop you on this point too, because like, what time of day is this? What time of day do you shoot?
It's usually in the afternoon. Usually,
yeah.
At this window, it's in the afternoon between 1 and 4, maybe.
At this window, you're so amazing. It's not even funny.
She has like little like pieces of paper that like say like when the light comes through particular windows. Like I have this image of like a little chart or graph, like this time of year the sun comes through this window at this time, and you have like a little table you go around. That's so rad.
Yeah.
You are so
I
rad.
have 3 outdoor locations that I go to normally, and it depends on the time of day, what the weather's like,
Yeah.
and really realistically if I have enough coffee to make it all the way out there. So it's just one of those things. But I know in your brain, again, this is what Scott has said earlier, that you know what time it is. And you're like,
Mhm.
I'm going to go to this window because I realize that when I'm setting up this idea, how it's going to fall. So I have certain trees I'll set up underneath, like how they're like gonna. It's like it's just the way you've been shooting for so long,
Yeah.
and I noticed it with the way that everything is lighted in your photos, whether you're outside or not. You like things to fall and kind of they like grace the figures. I don't know how to better say it than that because it doesn't really. It's not blasting them. It's not just like barely touch. It's like it's soft. It's like a weird
Nailed it.
feeling. And like I know how to like look at it, but I don't know how to say it. So
No,
how does
Steph,
it?
I think that was a perfect description of it. They do.
That's a
like,
really
they-
nice way.
It was I think you could not have stated that any better. Like that was exact. They really do. They just
It might be the rum talking, so
they're
we'll see.
not- No, that's good. Let the
Let's
rum
have
keep
another
talking.
rum.
'Cause the rum is a genius. The way you like you said, the light really takes over. You know, it brings all of your attention to the figure, and you do it very organically and very naturally. You do not. It's not a spotlight on it. It's not like over photoshopped to the point where it's like blasting you away. It's just this beautifully classic light that just pulls you right into the subject, and the rest of it's just kind of stuff in the background that's just there for accents, and it's amazing, lovely, absolutely.
I'm kind of obsessed with light and how it works and how it looks on things.
It's interesting when you take out different figures because you have a collection of everything, how stuff looks at different points. Even just moving it over a couple inches
Yep.
and where it's going to like set is like a whole nother experience. And
Yeah.
so like I can get that when I'm outside. That's my thing. It's like, 1, how much dirt can I throw today? 2, like where am I going to set this up so that this looks all right? And I think when you get to that point where you can get like even just one panel light, you're going to like it's going to open up so much other things, because even though Scott says it's like all the rest of it's kind of fuzzy right now on the like the ground where the screws and stuff are, you have little touches of stuff where you could add other little bits and pieces. Like I know in your collection you could have other droid parts and everything else. So it'll slowly open. Are you guys ready for? I think mine's next, and I'm sorry in advance. I've been trying this photo
No,
forever.
I'm pumped. I don't even know. Did you
I
send
wanna
me
see.
yours? I thought this might be the first time I've seen it. Oh, heck yes.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Oh, heck
That's
yes.
beautiful stuff.
I had to use him because I knew, and I opened him up, and I was trying to get like a lamenting silence photo for you for him having had a great vacation, but I was like, I could not get it right. He's sitting
Oh,
on a
yes,
deck of
you
cards,
did.
and I was like, do I leave the deck of cards? Like, I just blurted out because I was like, no, I'm not going to leave it. But it's like I was trying so hard.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Steph,
But
this
your
is a
lighting
great
is what I was trying to
pose.
get.
This is an awesome pose. I like.
See,
Yeah,
look
not to
how
harp
good
on
at
the
posing
pose,
you
but-
are.
Yeah, this is like. I don't know why. Something about this pose. This is very like. I don't know. This is very new. Something about this is really grabbing me.
It's
And
like
I've seen
really
a lot of-
dynamic without a lot of action, if that makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean, I've seen a lot of him out there now, just because of the fact that he was released and people are amped about it. Like this is, I don't think I've seen this. This feels really original.
Yeah, for sure.
And I
Oh.
love the highlight on the rat on the left side. The fact that you've got some highlight on his face on his far side, and you've got some highlight on the rat on its far side.
I don't know if they're his
Great.
friends or not, but they're supposed to be in my mind. So
he looks like he could be reaching for them, like almost like a, hey, are you gonna come talk to me or whatever?
Definitely.
Wow.
And you still got his eyes, the lights in his
Yeah.
eyes. That's
That was my
eyes are
goal.
still there.
So I know how much you like it.
And Steph, the geometry in this, I know I talk about geometry a lot, but I love that you caught that little triangle in the bottom right corner. Um,
Oh
I
yeah.
feel like if you didn't have that, it would be sad. It would be so sad if that wasn't there.
That complements that diagonal that the
Yeah.
rats are on so well.
Right? It's like it just
Beautiful.
it's meant to be there. No, that's stunning. Oh my god, that's stunning. I love that you also placed his face and head into a very, very like deep black spot so that
Yeah.
his face really like blasts out at you so you can really see it. It doesn't just fade away. Like if you had it over like that kind of hot spot in the middle, it wouldn't have had the same impact. But his head really just
Definitely.
it's right there.
He's not allowed to be in the light either. So that's why I was like, he can't be out in
Right.
like, the sunshine.
Gotta keep him in the shadows.
Yeah.
That's good.
Black and white movies are always like interesting. And I think, Amy, when you do black and whites, like you always tell me like my black and whites are like something interesting. And I'm like, no, they're not quite there yet in my mind because it's hard to grasp that full emotion from something for that thing. And I think this is the closest only because I was thinking probably of yourself instead of like thinking of like how I'm going to set this up like stepwise. So it's interesting now doing these challenges in black and white because it's something that we take for granted, like full shapes and stuff that like now I'm learning more stuff from Scott about like how angles need to look and stuff like that I never really focused on before. I just kind of like set things up and like thought of like, oh, this will look okay. But now I like to see the grains and stuff, but like, I also don't want too much blown out or too much going on. So it's kind of different.
Yeah, this is perfect. And you got the grains that the rats are on. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Even the little pieces of dust is perfect.
It really is.
That's always my thing is like, there has to be more bits going on down there. That's not anything to do
You're
with the thing.
so good at that too.
Are you ready? We're ready for Scott.
Like I'm just like looking at this. I'm so happy I didn't see it beforehand because honestly, this one got me. I really like this a lot. I like this photo.
Even the little shadow of his ear on his head. Scott, look at that.
Right? Like it's just I don't know. Everything feels. It feels. Your subconscious artist created something serious here and was really on its game. Like, I don't know. It's just a really, really cool. Everything is just really cool. Everything fits in perfectly.
It's really good stuff.
Yeah. I'm glad because I was freaking out. So
no reason. That's beautiful.
Great freaking image.
And then Scott and all his craziness. I think my words back to you were I hate you. So
I concur. I wish I had done these.
God, this is so much fun. Oh, I was so excited. Like this is when it was funny because when Steph said we were gonna, do another doubleheader weekend and you were gonna be on the front, I was just like, oh my gosh, I have to execute Amy's photo I have to do it. I've been thinking about this for a couple weeks. Like, what do I do? But I knew it. I really wanted to at least take one or two droid shots. They had to be robots, because that's one of my favorite things that you've done. And I had to do your behind the scenes. I absolutely had to.
They were brilliant.
I was like, all right, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. And this is also the first time I ever did expanded by image with black bars versus white bars.
It is.
Yeah, I've never done that before. This was the first time. So
how did you like it?
It made me a little nervous, but I did it. And I felt good. Yeah, I felt good.
What did you think of it, though? I mean,
I liked it.
Think of it?
I actually really liked it a lot. But it was the first time I ever tried it. I'm like, you know what? I do this. I do it right. I've always expanded with white. I've never expanded with black before, and I was like, you know what? Let's do it. We're going all out. And it was really fun. And I had such a blast doing this. Like it was one of those ones that like we've talked with other artists about like the challenges of photographing like them. There was something very interesting about trying to photograph like you, because I really was trying to think, like I was trying to like put myself in your head. Like I was trying to like go through photos and not necessarily even think about okay, I want to put this style element here. I want to put this style element here. I was just thinking to myself, like, what would Amy do here? What would Amy do with this figure? And no joke, I grabbed 5 random, like, and I wanted to try to pick vintage Star Wars figures. So I picked like vintage Star Wars figures and the one Ewok that was from Steph. But I did not want to do anything new. I wanted to try to find older stuff. So I purposely grabbed 2 old ones, and I grabbed like a handful of like 5 or 6 old ones, and I just started looking at them and saying like, okay, what can I do with these? What can I do with these? And yeah, it was so much fun. It was so much. I had such a blast. This was definitely different than anything I've really done, especially setting up wise. So that was.
I mean, I'm not even kidding. I wish I had taken these. The bookends, the stone bookends, are brilliant. They're beautiful. The background you picked, I love that fan like thing. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the light. It's gorgeous. I'm really jelly.
I was so happy you were happy. I was like, I say it every single time. It's always one of those like weird moments, like posting it. And I'm like, oh God, please let them just not hate it. Like I don't care if everybody like likes it, but as long as nobody just sits there and goes like, ugh, that's how I shoot. Ugh. Like I'm always afraid that's gonna happen.
That's okay. They'll save it for like when I do it, so it's all right. So I'm like, I'm gonna wait till we post the podcast, and then they're like, oh, there's steps. We'll throw this out there, and then we'll.
I think that's why I always posted before, because I have this like sick like hope that like one day somebody's gonna come on the show and be like, I hate what you did with my. I'm gonna be like, and I'm gonna have to like cry on the podcast. It'll be great.
Oh man,
I have to admit, it's disconcerting.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I did a Scott style and a Steph style,
which I'm very excited.
Hopefully, you're disconcerted too. But it's just. I don't have a better word. It's disconcerting to see somebody be able to do something that looks like I should have done it, but I don't remember doing it.
That's like my brain's gonna pop.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's interesting.
Well, I am happy you're happy. So
totally beautiful. They're all beautiful.
It was a blast. Such a freaking blast. Oh yeah.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
I know, but I love it.
You should have seen the setup for this one. That was.
What are they on? Crazy. What are they posing on?
They're on a dance floor.
Like a little mini.
It's like a disco dance floor, like that in the old timey discos in the 70s that used to light up.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know, but they used to light up.
That's so good.
And so that's a printout also. On top of, it's a light with a piece of glass. It's a light going like this with a piece of glass on top of it, and then the dance floor printout on top of the glass.
Okay, that's why it's glowing. See, that's why I was confused.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen like light up dance floors, but I'm just like looking at it going like, how in the world, why is it lighting up? Like
it's magic.
Did she just go buy some like mini light up dance? I can't imagine you doing that. So I was like, where did this come from? So it's a piece of paper with light underneath it. That is really cool. That is
so mirror ball is a Christmas ornament, and I was holding a flashlight and my phone. That was a phone one. So
that's amazing.
It's so good. We're gonna make our faces bigger now.
Oh my God, Amy, you are truly, and I joke about it, but you are seriously a legend.
Oh my God.
You are one of those photographers that if toy photography ever becomes like the type of thing that gets talked about in art history books, they will discuss your vibe. You are a very distinct photographer. People know who you are. Everybody loves your work. I've never heard anybody who like followed you and then was just like, maybe not unfollow. Like,
other than me.
No, like it's ridiculous. Like anybody who unfollows you, like I've noticed like every once in a while, like my followers are kind of like go up and they go down. Like anybody who unfollows you is a freaking idiot. Like I don't know what they're thinking. Like you're always just posting really creative stuff, really intelligent stuff, well thought out. You accompany them with like these just wonderfully smart quotes that you get from all over the place. Like your knowledge is so vast. And I think it's the combination of all of that. It's your presentation. Everything about your feed is something that everybody should witness. And whether you're into toy photography or not, like and this goes for any any of my people out there who are listening to this who aren't really into toy photography, you need to follow Amy because it's not about toys. It's not about collecting Star Wars. It's not about Black Series or Marvel Legends and Hot Toys and stuff like that. It's about creating art with little things, little characters, little misfits, and you do it so well. You do it so
My goodness.
well. So,
well, I'll buy you another martini here in a minute.
Yeah.
Thank God. Amy,
no, I just want to thank you for coming back on because this is like a new thing and I was very excited. I know you were super nervous, but see, like you made it through. We got to talk amazing things about you because you are amazing. So it was perfect. Scott didn't get too into diagonals and triangles and everything else going on.
And I drank a whole martini and I'm still
and he drank a whole martini.
A whole martini. I'm still kind of like reasonable. Now, granted, that was like 2 martinis, but whatever. I put them in one glass, so that counts as 1. So that's my.
And then you don't have a Twitter or anything, right? You're just Amy at Caddy.Combs on Instagram.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yep.
Perfect.
I love it. I love that that's your existence out there. It's just the Instagram. Very simple. It's
I can't handle any more than that. I would be too overwhelmed.
Amy, before we go unlive, would you ever do like an art show? Would you ever? Is that something that would be fun for you, or is that something that would be like horribly intimidating and stressful?
Actually, I mean, I think it would be fun because I say this loosely, but I have some experience with that. I went to art school a long time ago. My husband, Jerry, went to art school and he had shows. So I kind of of course, it's a long time ago, but yeah, I mean, it would be fun. I think it would be fun, especially if it was a group show. That would be a blast.
It would be lots of fun.
I don't know. I see as like, for somebody who's spent time in the art world and whatnot, there are the toy photographers who, we do different odds and ends, we try different things. And I really feel like it would be fun for more of us to show our work beyond just the toy photography community. And, there's a lot of people out there and Steph, you included, who do like really interesting things that go kind of past just a photo of a toy. And, and there is a certain, I don't know, there's a certain feeling you get when you actually see your work printed. And, it would just be kind of fun. It would be a neat thing to.
Well, maybe we should do a group show.
I know. I keep thinking about that. I really think it would just be a good time. It would be really cool just to see toy photographers on a wall together. Like, even if it was the kind of thing where everybody just did like one image or 2 images. Everybody does 2 images, and we present it somewhere. I don't know. There's just there's
definitely
there. But yeah, your work is phenomenal. Thank you so much for just being you and being awesome. And always putting great stuff out there and great content. So we all appreciate you.
Oh my goodness.
Well, y'all, thank you for listening to another wonderful episode of the combined SBN F-Stop Rebel podcast. Truly a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed everything. Remember, please do not grow up. It's a waste of time. I am Scott, F-Stop Rebel, And there's obviously Steph.
Yep, I'm still here, and you can find me at Slag My Thrilla or the SBN. You'll see all the credits on the end, but I always want to say, just guys, stay awesome and keep it up.